Hi everybody, Michael here from Christ of England. Today I want to address something that struck me recently about the hypocrisy of a lot of English/British people. And that is the fact that in our country we have a problem with illegal migration especially, but even a lot of legal migration is out of control. And most English people just want sensible migration policy. We don't hate anybody, we just want a sensible migration policy. And with open borders and all these different cultures, our country is going to hell in a handbasket. And English people are right to have that stance, absolutely, such as myself. But one thing I've noticed is there is a fair amount of hypocrites, I believe, in our country leaving. So I don't dislike any of these people, but I just want to talk about their hypocrisy. So we have multiple people who have left the UK. And there's people such as Paul Thorpe, who's recently gone to Spain. But even on like X, there's a guy called James Goddard who lives in Thailand, and he's quite very much to the far right. And a lot of them are all nationalists. But when I hear them talking, I do think, hold on, you're just completely hypocritical. Number one, they talk about England and saving England, but you've abandoned your country. Number one. So if you loved your country, you should be staying here to fight. Number two, the hypocrisy is that a lot of them complain about all the migration, yet they become a migrant themselves. So that doesn't make any sense to me. And whilst I get that, yes, a lot of these illegals coming here are just abusing our system and they're going to places and paying taxes and contributing to society in a good way, that's a fair point. Still, the fact remains that if you love your country and you want to fight for your country, you should stay in your country and you shouldn't abandon the country. Unless your life is completely in danger, I don't believe there's any reason to leave the country. You should be staying and fighting for your homelands. And that's another criticism they make of these migrants. They say to these migrants and illegals, well, even if your country is at war, stay and fight for your country. And what are they doing? They're abandoning the country at first sign of trouble. A lot of them say, there's multiple people I follow who do it, a lot of them say, oh, well, I'm being persecuted, I can't speak how I want to speak because of I'll get locked up in prison. Well, fight for your country. You tell these refugees to go home and fight for their country, you're just as bad as them. You've become essentially a refugee saying that you've left the country. So again, you're a complete hypocrite. And another thing that they're hypocritical about is, for example, we've got a load of Pakistani MPs and loads of foreign people in our country who spend all their time going on about their home country. So the Pakistani MPs go on, we need to build an airport in Pakistan. We need to do this for Pakistan. I got elected. I'm proud Pakistani. And it's like, if you're so obsessed with Pakistan, go to Pakistan and fight for them. This is England. If you're here, you should try and assimilate as best you can and contribute to our country. That's what we want. And that's what a lot of these people say. Yet, isn't it ironic that they're in Spain, they're in Thailand, and they spend all their time on YouTube going on about British politics. Oh, this is bad for Britain. We need to do this to save Britain. But you're doing exactly what you accuse the Pakistanis of. So isn't the Spanish and the Thai people, shouldn't they say to you, stop talking about English politics, mate. You're in Spain, you're in Thailand, you're here to contribute to our country and assimilate to our country. So it just struck me that most of these British people, it's absolutely hypocritical and disrespectful to the countries they've moved. And then it just got me realising that English people, we need to sort ourselves out. It's all well and good us complaining about illegal migrants and all these certain things happening. As a British people, we are in a sad state of affairs and we need to have a spiritual revolution and sort ourselves out and bring back spiritual values in our society and stop being hypocrites as well. One of Jesus' best teachings was take the thorn out your own eye before you criticise your brother. So we need to get our own house in order first. And I encourage all Brits who've moved abroad, come back home and fight for your country. You encourage all these asylum seekers and refugees in our country to go back home. Well, I'm telling you, come back home. Stop being cowards. Yes, just as these people who are going to go and have to fight in a war and risk their lives for their countries, you've got to do the same. You can't complain, oh, I can't write what I want on Twitter. What you've got is nowhere near as dangerous as what they've got. Many of them have even willing crossed oceans to get here. So stop being so weak. Come back to England and fight for your country. Or stop speaking about it completely. Get off Twitter, get off YouTube, and go and start working in your country that you've moved to and contributing to your country. And stop speaking about England. Okay, so that's the point of my video today. I'm asking two things. Not British people, stop being hypocritical, the ones who are, and we need to look at ourselves. I mean, even if you look at like Brits abroad and stuff, do Brits really overly learn the language? When Brits go to places like Paul Thorpe's in Benidorm, he goes to Benidorm because that's where all the Brits are. But again, is that hypocritical? We complain that all these like northern places are Pakistani ghettos or whatever, but Benidorm is just an English ghetto in Benidorm. So I'm sure if even more, loads and loads and loads and loads of English people went over and caused a massive English area, would the Spanish not be like, hold on, this is Spain, why are you making sort of an English area? So it just strikes me that we are hypocritical. And I'm always a balanced, fair man. And I always try to see both sides of the story. And I think a lot of English people do not do that and are hypocritical. And it's one of the reasons we're in the mess that we're in, is because we're hypocrites and blind fools ourselves. And we need to set better standards. Okay, that's the point of my video today. Come and join the Christ of England. This is where we're going to have a spiritual revolution in our country to solve our problems rather than listening to blind fools, hypocrites and fake religious people. This is the truth of the Spirit of Christ and the love of the Father, and where we can make positive change in our country. So subscribe, like the video, share it with as many people as you can, and God bless everybody. Goodbye.